Hi, welcome back guys. Bitcoin is trading in a tightening range and we know what's happening when Bitcoin is entering in such a closed range where we are squeezing up and then getting a breakout to either direction. I will show you which favorite direction I'm personally looking at right now, how I'm going to trade this and how you can do the same. Let's go. Hi, welcome back guys. Okay, screen is not frozen. We jump directly into today's content here. Don't want to waste any time. So currently, the first thing that I looked today at was where are the funding rates for Bitcoin. And the funding rates are super cool off. Even on Bybit, they're in the negative. On Bitstamp actually too. I think Bitstamp is not listed here, but Bitstamp has also negative funding rates. I'm going to show that to you in a moment. And otherwise, they're pretty neutral. So based on experience and what we have seen in the past, we know when we have negative funding rates, Bitcoin going sideways, or funding rates being neutral, at some point we get a bigger move here, most of the time into higher price levels. Let me just move this here quickly away, see what's going up. Yeah. So mostly in higher price levels. On the weekly chart, however, we are still a little bit in no man's land where we need the current weekly candle to flip green so that we get a pump and a massive short squeeze by next week. So we basically need to wait another 4 days for this to come into fruition. But this will also only happen if the stochastic RSI stays as it is and we put in a buy signal. And yeah, with that put pressure on the price to move here into higher levels. Something else that I had to look at was here on the daily chart with the VPVR, while we are currently moving a little bit sideways. And that is coming from the fact that this cluster here is giving us a little bit of resistance here at $87,850 approximately. So even if I draw here a line, you can see there is some level of resistance. Regardless of that, I believe that this level will be broken here in the short term, and then the next major resistance will become here this cluster. So in this cluster starts at $93,900 to approximately $97,400. And we have talked many times about this area here, how important and significant this cluster is on the way back to past $100,000 and higher, because the point of control is still sitting here at $104,800 approximately, and this is the ultimate target now for the bulls to reclaim, to take control back over price action and keep pushing here into higher levels. On here the daily chart, here you get another confirmation that funding rates are definitely negative, massively negative right now. And for this, I have here this indicator from the MDX Algo Suite that is just called funding rates. So look here at this big cluster. So funding rates are in the negative here for quite a while already. So here an average of minus 0.026% are funding rates here in minus. Also here the MACD is giving us a potential hint that we are breaking here soon to the upside with a violent move, while we are clinching on to this upward sloping trend line that I've also explained so many times why this is holding so much significance, while the RSI is slightly turning up here right now. Was overall going just sideways, but now I see here a small uptick around yeah, going to the upside. On the MDX Algo scalp gradients, here we need to be a little bit cautious, sorry guys, because we're putting in now here a purple bluish candle. Yeah, that's what I would call it. Yeah, purple. It's like soft purple that we are putting in here. And that could mean that we are chopping here a little bit more around before we get a proper move here to the upside. So it can also lead to a small wick to the downside before we get that move here and continuation into higher levels. Here, the most important thing that we need to look at this chart is that we are holding the weekly open here. And that is currently trading at $86,800. We are like $100 below that. And this is what I'm currently also looking at. So if this 4-hourly candle can close above the weekly open, that would be a level where you can long from again to the upside. But I'm going to give you here a potentially even better entry and a more safe entry, because here on the 30 minutes chart, I talked about this for quite a while now, that here's a golden cross that appeared on the chart, and now price action is consolidating, yeah, basically since then a little bit sideways, and we have now created here this tightening range, the symmetrical triangle that has a bullish bias to break to the upside. So if we are right with this and we're treating this as a symmetrical triangle, then here the upside target would be $91,000. But if we are closing here in, let it be 18 minutes, this candle below this symmetrical triangle, then we have potentially to live with the fact that we are first going lower before we go up and go higher. But I don't think that we're going to reach the technical target of $83,300. I don't see that happening. It's more like the $85,000 level that I just mentioned earlier, that we're going to tap first, create a fake out deviation, come back up, and then get that proper breakout of this symmetrical triangle. Here currently the 50 moving average is giving us support. As long as that's holding as support, we are fine. If we lose that close to 30-minute candles below that, we're most likely going to get here that step to the downside before we are turning back and then go higher. So can you short this? Technically you can if you want to from the 50 moving average when we close the candle below that. Would I do that? No, definitely not, because there's too much upside buy pressure right now already on Bitcoin to push us higher than squeezing now like $1,000, $2,000 move to the downside. Rather, I would go and take a long entry from me the mid-range when we're getting above this at $87,400 approximately, and from there long this into the overall target from this symmetrical triangle. So and then you're looking at something like this here. A 4.3% move to the upside is 0.92% stop loss, a 1:46 risk to reward ratio, so definitely worth taking the trade. And your entry, like I said, is at $87,400, price target $91,118, stop loss at $86,560 respectively. So this is what I'm looking here for, yeah, the next move here in Bitcoin. Like I said, if you want to short this, you technically can. As here, this current 30 minutes candle is moving lower. Oh shit, I have to check here something quick. I know this is just price is breaking down. Okay, that's fine. So move below that, and then yeah, that is more or less already the price target where I would send this to. And here you see already from risk to reward ratio, it's not worth it, you know. So this is under a 1-to-1. So why would you do this? You know, this is retarded to take a trade like that, you know, unless you want to have super tight stops and do something like this, then okay, you know, but you will most likely get wicked out of that trade before you are hitting the target. So from a risk to reward perspective, it's not worth taking this trade and adjusting a stop into, yeah, such a tight range that it makes it almost impossible that is going to work out. So if you want to take either one of the trades, if you really want to push it here on the short, you know, guys, where I'm trading on Weex. You get $30,000 still in exclusive bonuses here, and don't forget this, and $400 instantly for free just by binding your phone, your email address, and downloading the app, and another $400 if you deposit $500. So a total $800. You get access then also to my private Telegram group. And if you want access to that, there is in the description explained how to do that. And if you cannot reach me on Telegram, do it then on Twitter or by email, info@amcrypto.us or amcryptoalex on Twitter, guys. If you cannot use Weex, Tablet is your alternative, guys. There's also a link in the description for this. The MDX algo liquidation levels, the liquidation levels here, showing us also the possibility that we get here that move to $85,700 because here are the late longers that came in here on the bottom line, which makes it, yeah, a target right now, a super quick short-term target to come down here, take these levels out, reverse it, then start moving to the upside. They're going all the way down here, liquidating the longs that came all the way down in. Sorry guys, that came in down here. I don't believe that this is highly probable to be happening. If it's happening, okay, it happens, but the probability is quite low that price will come and move here into this area, and rather focusing here on the upside. And something else I want to mention here, look, all the over leveraged short liquidity that was up here, they have already taken profits. And you're going to see now every 2-3 days how these clusters here that are sitting here in these top ranges will disappear really slowly, over time. They're going to all disappear because they know Bitcoin is about to go back to the upside. So they want to make sure to walk away with as much profit as possible, especially when you see also the concentration of liquidity here on the liquidation heat map. It's now heavily consolidated below here around $98,000 and $96,800, then here a little bit at $94,000, and then here around the $90,000 mark. Once we are hitting here 88,600, 89,500, that will trigger a short squeeze past $90,000 in direction of like $93,000, $94,000, and from there we have to reassess the situation, but most likely we're just going to get some consolidation before we get a continuation move. The USDT dominance is moving today back to the upside, which is of course not good. That's why Bitcoin is not going really anywhere, and altcoins, altcoins doing the same. We were looking earlier, not that bad, but this has of course changed now. What you don't want to see is that we are coming back here to 6.5% and then move above this level, confirm this as support, and then we move higher. That would be devastating for the whole crypto space, not only for Bitcoin. So, and rather what you want to see here in the next 11 hours and 40 minutes, that we get at some point here a rollover to the downside. The US markets are about to open, so, and that could potentially help us. At least I hope so, because this would be one of the rare occasions where the US market is opening and Bitcoin would start pumping instead of dumping. The Bitcoin dominance is still trading below 59%. This is what we wanted to see here. Oh, really? Is my microphone quiet? Is it better now? So I turn it up a little bit. Oh, wait. And I also put here screen back. So let me know, it's better now. So I think it's actually too much. So I'm going to leave it like this. So we would definitely want to see that we remain here below 59%. That we have here a small bounce right now. It's not really concerning as long as we are staying here in that falling wedge pattern, and that will break down over time. So give this a couple of days, and then I see us dropping out of this and getting a nice leg to the downside. The total free market cap has tried to break above this downward sloping trend line and failed. We are putting in here now an evening star candlestick formation. If we move a little bit lower, so we could come back here to like $856 billion approximately. Let's hope that this will not lead to continuation, because this is like a reversal pattern for continuation to the downside, and rather getting here a fake out, and tomorrow's kind of pushes back and goes back into the downward sloping resistance here. I'm not expecting that we are breaking this tomorrow, but over the next couple of days, at some point, if we are breaking that, that's what I'm personally looking at. If you want to learn how I actually read the market in this specific fashion and make so much money with that, because you see it here every single day when I show my trades that I'm actually preaching what I'm teaching, and teaching what I'm preaching, so that way around. There is a link on top of the description where you can sign up for the wait list for my new program that's coming out on the 1st of December. So that's when it's launching. Get on the wait list. We are heavily selecting people that I want to work with. So just because you have money doesn't mean that you're going to work with me. We are heavily selecting, but get on the wait list. I mentioned it again, this is not for free, so you have to pay for it, but it's not for free. But me and my team, or me personally, we're going to help you to become profitable in the next 3 to 4 months if you join this program. So because that's what I did also in the past, and now it's time to do this all over again. There's, by the way, also on this channel, multiple case studies coming out that my editors have right now. So also be on the outlook for that. So here then with Ethereum, our Ethereum trade is still doing good. Our Ethereum trade is still fine, even though the whole market is pulling back because we got here a really, really nice entry 2 days ago at $2,780 or $2,740, depending on where you entered. Both entries were absolutely fine. On the lower end, you're still up over 5%. Crazy, actually. So 5.4%, and from here you're still up 4.2%. So still fine. Here, what you want to look at, oh, let me move this back. What you want to look at is here this upward sloping trend line. So when Ethereum breaks this upward sloping trend, breaks below that, you should maybe start taking a little bit profit, or have at least your stop losses in profit. So that means you don't, if you entered here, your stop loss should be at least here, maybe even here. So, and if you entered from here, your stop loss should be definitely up here. So it can happen and it will wick you out and continues to go higher, but then you just trade the reclaim with your profits, put them back in, and trade the continuation into the overall resistance here of $3,155. So otherwise, if you want to get into a trade, every single time when we touch this upward sloping trend line is a point of entry where you can take a trade from. So the only thing that you need to make sure is that you have then a stop loss like kind of here or kind of down here to protect yourself, you know, because it can break below this and then big wick down, and then we're going to stay here a little bit. So you want to make sure that when you're trading like this, that you're going to protect your position at all costs and your capital. Now for Solana, we basically ran here into our first target since I gave the trade from 100, what was it here, $128, $131. So if you took profit there, amazing. If you're still in the trade, I think you can still hold on to this, and this is not looking too bad actually here. If I draw here a horizontal line there. So as long as we are staying above $134, I expect that we are continuing to range here in this area until we're going to get a breakout. So in the short term, stochastic and the RSI are looking both that they are pushing price a little bit lower, and that could lead exactly to the move that I just talked about, that we are getting here a tap of $134 before we are bouncing back here to the upside. So that will most likely play out over the next 8 to 12 hours ish, and then we know if we can hold this range or not. If we can hold this range, then you can within this range take again a new position and trade this then into the next level here of resistance of $156, $160 approximately. So I wanted to give you another trade here on AVAX. I hope some of you guys got in here when I told you when we were on the way down, because that was like kind of here, I think. I have to go back now, check here. Yeah, a little bit higher actually there. So we are slightly below that entry, so not that bad. You could technically open from here position. You have to make a decision. Do you want to trade this on spot? Do you want to use a little bit of leverage? If you use leverage, don't go too crazy. I would not take more than like 5x leverage on this position here right now. And the overall target, that is somewhat of a swing position. I would hold this at least until $17. So that would be my overall target here. So that is like a 20-30% move, 30% almost. Yeah, 22% move to the upside from current price levels. So with 5x leverage, you make over 100% on your money. That's more than enough, guys. You don't need more. That's absolutely fine, you know. So stop loss is quite big, not gonna lie. So my stop loss would be here, below this candle low here, for 4.6%. So with 20x leverage, you're risking 23% to make 100%. Which again is absolutely fine. Guys, my head is hammering from yesterday. If you were here yesterday, you know why my head is hammering. So I'm gonna bounce again, but I will be back tomorrow with no headache. And yeah, in the meantime, don't forget, guys, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you again tomorrow.